Developing now, the humanitarian crisis in Ukraine is deepening. The United Nations Refugee Agency saying today that nearly 2 million Ukrainians have streamed into Central Europe to escape the fighting. The Associated Press reporting that a third round of talks between the two sides ended today with a top Ukrainian official saying there had been minor unspecified progress toward establishing safe corridors that would allow civilians to escape the fighting. Russia's top negotiator saying he expects those corridors to start functioning tomorrow.
A lot of the national reporting is happening from the rooftop of the hotel that I stayed at while I was there. This for me is very real.
Ohio's top election official. He was in Ukraine with a U.S. delegation to observe their 2019 presidential election.
And that election resulted in the Ukrainian people choosing Volodymyr Zelensky as their leader.
Secretary of State Frank LaRose spoke exclusively to Christine Varconi about his time there. Christine?
That's right, Brad and Jennifer. And when Secretary LaRose went to Ukraine to observe their presidential election in 2019, one of the major concerns they had in the country was a foreboding one: Russian interference. It didn't happen at the ballot box that year, but now, as we see, it violently has, as Russia continues its attack on its neighbor. The war zone footage of Ukraine we see today is not the Ukraine Ohio Secretary of State Frank LaRose saw.
What I saw was a modern country that was focused on human rights and focused on growing their economy and improving their situation.
He was there in 2019 as an election observer to watch their process, then to issue a report on what he saw.
It was a fairly conducted election, and it was the election that ultimately resulted in Volodymyr Zelensky becoming the president of Ukraine, which is a name that all the world has gotten to see now as he leads the freedom fighters of Ukraine that are literally fighting, as we speak, for the sovereignty of their nation.
LaRose, a combat war veteran, praised President Zelensky's leadership.
Because in a crisis, you need calm and steady leadership. You need steely resolve. And that is exactly what Volodymyr Zelensky has been exhibiting. He has been showing the people of Ukraine that their president is not afraid, and so they should not be afraid. He's been showing the people of Ukraine that he knows they will win this, and so they know that they will win this.
Secretary LaRose also noted Ohio's strong ties to Ukraine, with one of the largest Ukrainian American communities in the United States.
Sometimes when you see footage from a war zone, and I've been to several of them, it kind of looks like this two-dimensional or abstract thing. I can tell you that the people of Ukraine are very connected with your friends and neighbors in Ohio. Tens of thousands of your fellow Ohioans. This isn't some abstract idea. These are their family members, their friends, people they grew up with.
Secretary LaRose also thinks there's more the United States can do to help Ukraine. You can hear his thoughts in our full interview, which is up over on NBC4i.com. Brad.